supporting the fake news, mate, and support.
This is Max Egan telling you about how he's been banned. Now, clearly, he's not been banned. Listen to this.
Lockdown of independent media. And there's just waves and armies and armies of trolls
Sorry, Dylan.
this opinion getting out, which is why they've limited my channel and just blacklisted me and got me out and just sort of swept me under the carpet. That's what they do. They just brush the truth aside and put it in the back room so you can't find it. Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that for years now.
So there you go. There's him trying to say that they shadow ban him, and I'm live, darling. So, fuck's sake. I'm interrupted, sorry. I'm trying to concentrate here. So Max Egan has been banned, is what they're trying to tell you. And that's what Max Egan is there telling you that it's happening to him. Now, he can't be banned because we're fucking watching him, aren't we? We can see him right now telling you how he's giving you the information. So why doesn't he? Listen.
Got me out and just sort of swept me under the carpet. That's what they do. They just brush the truth aside and put it in the back room so you can't find it. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what he's trying to insinuate there. His information gets swept away. So why don't you tell us your information then? Why don't you tell us what it is that's got you banned? And then we'll know. Because you're not banned, because we can see you. This is the games that they're playing with you. You don't understand. You see, he's on the TV trying to tell you that he's not allowed on the TV. Right? Well, if you can see him, then you can see him. That tells you that he's on the TV. So why the hell would he be trying to tell you that he's banned? This is the lies that they play. Right? So, Max Egan, stop playing silly fucking games. Okay? Now let's just see what it is. If anything makes sense.
Now, shadow banning, actual banning, just taking deplatforming, all that sort of thing. If anyone is putting out any sort of truthful information, it's really quite amazing how fast they're getting, as well as you pointed out. For people out there who's kind of not sure about these sort of things, you're wondering, oh, false flag, that sounds strange. Well, 9/11 was a false flag event in order for the U.S. government and Israel and many other governments to get involved in the war of terror, which is still ongoing with millions killed now. Even in Australia, where you are right now, Max, I believe it was Port Arthur back in the 90s. Is that, yeah, that was the one. That was a false flag event. They just shot a bunch of people, and within, was it months or like weeks, they had pretty much banned all firearms in Australia.
It's even been more so in New Zealand. In New Zealand, they had firearms there. Last year, they tried to take the firearms from the people and give police more guns, and the people said, no, we don't want this happening. And then now they've done this, and within 10 days, they've got the legislation passed. They're already raiding people at 2 o'clock in the morning and taking their guns now in New Zealand. It's incredible. They had the legislation, they had the gun legislation ready there within minutes of this event happening, like literally within minutes. This is a 600-page, legislation. So they're like typing really, really, really fast and thinking really, really,
just
really
like
fast.
The Patriot Act in 9/11.
Just getting this straight out there, like within minutes. And they've got it passed within 10 days. They even circumvented the gun lobby. The gun lobby didn't even have time to organise and even write out a form of complaint before the legislation's passed, and they're stealing people's guns so quick. It's just incredible.
Yeah, well, it's all planned ahead of time. So just like with 9/11, within days they had that phone book size Patriot Act all written.
So hopefully that's it then. That's what they've said it is.
Politicians, you can't write anything like that fast.
Is this the stuff that's supposed to be banned?
The New Zealand shooting event or whatever happened there. The first I saw a post on Facebook. That's usually where I see something. Someone said, "Oh, some 50 people just got shot in New Zealand. So I just Google it. The very first thing that pops up is the Prime Minister of New Zealand.
This is
and she has a press conference, and the first thing she says is,
the channel you're wanting it.
gun laws are going to change. And it's been less than 2 weeks now, and I just saw a
It's
headline
the
yesterday that New Zealanders are shocked at the rate
Anacross.
legislation to take away guns is going through without any sort of public involvement.
Yeah, exactly. 10 days, it's all true. It's done. They're already raiding people's homes before the legislation was passed. Yeah, people need to really look at this. Yeah, if you think of 9/11 as being the beginning of the end game, the big move that started the war on terror, what's happening in Christchurch is 9/11 2.0. This is the beginning of the final move of the end game. This Christchurch event, because it's sleepy, quiet little New Zealand, away from everywhere, nothing ever happens in New
Try and
Zealand.
find
And
it.
suddenly we have this mass shooting, and the suspect is your average white guy next door who never did anything to offend or hurt anybody that you just thought was just a normal guy. That's the enemy that you have to look out for. So you can see how they're playing this. This is the beginning of the end game now. This is the beginning of the final move. And it's a ripple effect. It's going to go out to all countries. It's already affected us majorly in Australia and major effects in New Zealand already. It's going to come out, ripple effect across America. I mean, even trying to tie Trump into this. I mean, you know, the way they're doing it with everything. But sleepy little New Zealand, where this could never happen. But when you consider the fake news meme that they created with Sandy Hook, you know, and how everyone's taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker. All they have to do is stage Sandy Hook, and people say, oh, everything's fake. Nobody ever dies. Then you've got Pizzagate. Fake
Can't get
news.
in to watch it.
Movement is encouraging
Such a
people
good
to go and
thing.
attack pizza stores because of their belief systems. And now we look at the terrorist manifesto that Brendan Tarrant's written for New Zealand, which looks like their belief systems. And now we look at the terrorist manifesto that Brendan Tarrant's written for New Zealand, which looks like
Right, that's see, you made me fucking lose it. The fuck, man. Ask him what channel it is. Has fucked things up. It's Mark Segan, banned from YouTube for exposing Christchurch massacre. Yeah, that's a park.
created with Sandy Hook.
That's where it is,
How
right?
everyone's taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker. All they have to do is
So,
stage
there you
Sandy
go.
Hook, and people say, oh,
That
everything's
fucked
fake,
things up a
nobody
good
dies.
bit just to
Then
get
you've
what you
got
wanted,
Pizzagate,
but
fake news.
I got what you
Now
wanted.
suddenly the truth movement
Right,
is
so there it is
encouraging
on the
people to
screen.
attack pizza stores because of their belief systems. And now we look at the terrorist manifesto that Brendan Tarrant's written for New Zealand, which looks like he's got environmentalism, he's got all sorts of stuff in there. It looks like basically an ideology of the truth movement, only it's peppered with all
What am I
of this
doing, eh?
extremist rhetoric. So it makes you and I.
He thinks he's
look
banned.
like
Fuck's sake. I've got
extremists,
7
right-wing
people
extremists.
watching.
We're the people who
Fuck
influenced
off.
Brendan Tarrant to go
Yeah.
and shoot up this mosque. And
What good that is.
what our response was when he did
Yeah,
it.
that's how much
Started
that came out
attacking
to.
all the victims and calling them crisis actors and saying it's all fake news and all of this stuff. And they've got it all set up perfect.
Just all I'm hearing is fake news on Chris, fake news, 911, and fake news. It's just keywords. It's just that's all he's doing, just saying keywords and then got drivelous shit in between all that. That's what he's doing. What do you mean for fucking channel I'm watching? You know what channel it is? I just went through all that. Oh, see, my chat's all slowed down. I'm not doing too good. Oh, there's people fucking leaving now. Don't know. I'm not doing good. Right, let's find some shit that we can get on for you. I need to take my text off the screen. No, this text needs to come off the screen. Fuck us. None. Shut him. That was it. Which file was it? So you can watch what I'm watching. This bit better. See, hopefully. Maybe it's a camera, isn't it? Right. That's the one. It's that one. It's incredible thing. Just warming up, wanting to be it. Yeah. I just can't see it. Right, so it's not going to do it. Anyway, consciousness. There you go.
To do what is right, and whether or not you should listen to the law. But first, I want to remind you guys to bookmark theconsciousresistance.com to sign up for all of our latest content via our weekly email newsletter. And I know I say weekly, but I'm pretty bad at it. I will try to get back to that this week. Whenever I'm out of town, obviously I'm busy, I can't get to it. But I will be sending out the newsletter this coming weekend. Also, I'd invite you guys to find us on minds.com, on Steemit, on Discord, on our Remind text list, of course on YouTube, and if you want to support, join Patreon. Disrupting the criminal justice system and scaring people away from halls of justice. Apparently this didn't always happen, but it did happen under the Obama administration. So for those who want to say this is just Trump, it did happen under the Obama administration. But I guess at some point it was seen as unsavory and just not right to arrest people at courthouses because, if you get a summons, if you get a warrant, everybody's got to go to court. You can't really avoid that, otherwise you'll get a warrant. And to the authorities, they're like, hey, well, we looked up and saw that this person who is wanted for this or that crime or is an illegal immigrant or whatever you want to call them is going to go to court on this day. So let's just arrest them at court. Now, again, some people think that this is wrong. And apparently Massachusetts U.S. Attorney Andrew Lelling said that the charges were not political in any way, but that they were about holding everyone to the rule of law, even the privileged and the powerful.
How can they be allowed to look at what's going in that ballot box?
They
Must be allowed to
for violating federal law.
hide
If the
it.
law is not applied equally, it cannot be credibly applied to anyone. Now that I do agree with. If you're going to have any sense of law, which as it stands right now, the law that we know is mainly just the law of man, the law that has been mandated by the state. The state has decided what is best, what is right, and all those sort of things. But there are also those of us who understand the idea of natural law, or even just the idea of morality itself. And on the other side, you have people say that there is no such thing as morality. And if we didn't have a state or a government to force us to all be good, there would just be chaos in the streets, right? So both the judge and
So
the court
me and you
officer pled
brought
not guilty during their appearances in Boston's federal court, and the judge was fighting back tears as she left the courthouse. Her attorney said, quote, "This prosecution is absolutely..."
I'll try what's next.
We have two recent articles here talking about the Rothschild family. This one here is actually a news outlet from India, and they're talking
So
about
you're
the
going to hear, we listen to it.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 15th of April.
Yeah, we all listen to this.
We have two recent articles here talking about the Rothschild
Rothschild
family. This one here is actually a news outlet from India, and they're talking about Amartya Sen, who is married to Emma Rothschild, also pictured here. Emma Rothschild teaches at Harvard University, formerly served as a board member of the United Nations Foundation. She is a member of the Rothschild banking family, the trustee of the Rothschild archive as well. So she's married to Amartya Sen, who is promoted in the mainstream media magazines like The Economist. This article points out that the Rothschild happens to own, in part, they have a stake in The Economist magazine, and The Economist magazine is one of the news outlets that props up Amartya Sen and his economic policies. Actual citizens of India, just one of the countries that's been exploited by the Rothschilds, this article goes into more detail, have pushed back against the policies that the mainstream media has pushed on behalf of Amartya Sen and his family, the Rothschild family, to talk about a couple specific cases that they're actually demanding be investigated, ongoing corruption cases with the Rothschilds. Look at that article specifically, but there's also a few statements just from a few weeks ago from Jacob Rothschild saying that he's going to remain.
You can't see the links, that's the showing you.
Plays into previous article, some statements from last year, where Jacob Rothschild said that he was worried about the New World Order, the New World Economic Order. He said in some previous statements kind of mirrors that, what he's saying here, blaming it on what's going on politically, that the Rothschilds
fucking brilliant for like
politically.
absolutely
Fantastic.
Last
year,
for
this was from Rothschild himself.
for
He's saying that we can expect slow economic growth. He's almost threatening something like a economic crash because they're not getting their way politically. The exact quote said, against this weakening backdrop, geopolitical risks have not subsided. This is a quote from Rothschild. Rothschild went on to say, "We are surely witnessing the worst political situation in the United Kingdom since the Suez Crisis, while social unrest and populism in a number of European countries cloud the future." So he's talking about things like populism. Amartya Sen, married to Emma Rothschild, makes very similar statements, some suspiciously
hi everybody.
Similar statements to what Jacob Rothschild himself was saying. Amartya Sen is also talking about the so-called dangers of nationalism and populism, calling out the election of Donald Trump as one specific example. Here's another interview. Again, the mainstream media regularly has him on.
So the Rothschilds, it's another family, big family. They own almost everything that's marketable. And this is the problem. The fruit, veg, our food from the basic seed until its final thing. They control the whole lot, and we don't get any say in this. They've controlled the price, how much it is, how good it is, the nutritional value. Everything has been done to these plants, and then they're all run off Fish Michaels. It's company. There's there's no light. There's a program that can go up. Best if it like outside. It's here. It's here. Maybe, so, color. Nice. I see myself. Try and make it so that I can see it and you can see it. No. So.
Bank AG and one of its subsidiaries may have violated money laundering rules in the multi-billion-dollar 1MDB corruption case in Malaysia. Goldman Sachs, several bankers from Goldman Sachs have already faced charges in this case. The Rothschild Bank did
It's a TV behind them.
some kind of fine, but it's unclear if there will be more.
Let's get this. Stop, contribute, stop. Right, so we covered Richard for Boston. Obviously, trying to say he's fake. Trying to say it's they're banning him for his fake content when clearly we can see him. Max Egan playing the same game. They're all playing this game where they're saying they're getting banned, but they're only getting banned because you can hear them talking to you, telling you they got fucking banned. So it's a lot of shit. I can just tell you again. Projects on. What's behind?
Expose some truth and find out what it's really about. What is the 5G cellular network? And what exactly is it about? What does the equipment and hardware look like? And what should you watch out for? And the most important questions, is there a deeper agenda behind 5G? And how does it relate to things like mind control and energy weapons? Find out now on today's edition of Edge of Wonder. The truth.
You think this is gonna be fake, yeah? Wow, what shit. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Edge of Wonder. We're your hosts. I'm Rob. And I'm Ben. It seems that everyone is talking about 5G in recent months, and we've been seeing it all over the news. Many of y'all have been requesting it in the comments and in our inboxes. Today,
Here we go, we getting told about this is all the keywords, right? Inboxes and like 911 and everything. Wait to hear it.
Behavior, 5G weapons. I mean, we have got an episode for you today. Let's get everyone on the same page. What is 5G? 5G is the fifth generation wireless technology that's currently being developed and implemented around the world to replace 4G LTE. Get this, it's supposed to be 100 times faster. Yeah, 5G relies on higher frequency waves like millimeter waves to support faster speeds and improve your mobile experience. You'll see
Which is
faster
into
downloads and upload speeds. And
microwave,
for men, it's
you know.
so fast your beards may even burn off while you're using it.
You hear that?
Delay in communication between devices and wireless relies on higher frequency waves like millimeter waves to support faster speeds and improve your mobile experience. You'll see faster downloads and upload speeds, and for men, it's so fast your beards may even burn off while you're using it. The delay in communication between devices.
Yeah, for men, it's so fast your beards may burn off. Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to tell you is this is microwave. It's beyond microwave, right? This is get that fucking shot off the screen. This is beyond microwave. This is onto, you know, just past microwave. So it does the same effect. It just burns you. It kills you. It cooks you. What words do you want to hear? The heat. It's the. This goes straight through your brain and everything. There's no way you can't avoid it, and it's gonna be seriously bad for you. Unless you've got some kind of shielding, which I haven't. Have you? I mean, the other people have to live as well. You know, the other people. So there's a form of shielding that you can take to prevent this. We need to find out what that is. We'll all find out what it is. And let's see if this chart has got any better. If it's still the same. Oh. Live chart. No, live chat's still. Live chat's still on the higher stage. Nobody's talking yet. So fucking annoying. Oh, let's get this back on.
In wireless networks known as latency will decrease. 5G is low latency. What's the current state of 5G cellular technology? According to the FCC, 5G will operate on 3 different spectrum bands in the US. There's low band, mid band, and millimeter wave high band. You can think of these spectrum bands as roads and data transferred as the cars on the road. The straighter and more direct the road, the faster that the cars can drive on it. The same analogy applies here. Without going into too many specifics here, basically these higher frequency waves can't travel as far. Sort of like how at home you have to be close enough to the Wi-Fi device to get a signal. 5G stations can only cover less than 1 square mile, so it'll only work with an expansive network of antennas on top of existing infrastructure. So what does this technology look like? What should you be looking out for? If 5G has been rolled out in your neighborhood, you might see microcells or small boxes hung up on existing telephone poles, streetlights, or off a side of a building. You might also notice that you grow another head, or your leg falls clean off on your midnight 7-Eleven Slurpee run. You know you still drink those. So in order for these cell phone and other devices with 5G capabilities to communicate with these 5G small cells, they need a 5G chip. Qualcomm released its new Snapdragon X555 5G modem, which can run on 2G through 5G and promises to, quote, significantly boost the speed, coverage, and responsiveness of wireless networks. That was a mouthful. That was. 5G will support autonomous vehicles, additional surveillance cameras, remote-controlled heavy machinery, advancement of internet things. Our community probably already understands where this is going. Surveillance, remote-controlled heavy machinery, super smart appliances, and we've only scratched the surface. I mean, let's just introduce HAL and the Terminator into our homes. Well, isn't that basically what we have with Alexa, like the Amazon thing? Like turning on by itself, doing weird things? Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, at best, Edge of Wonder videos will load faster on your phones, and at worst, Big Brother is watching you, or we should say the deep state in this case. No. It's not like that. Let's go one level deeper. I mean, I've been alluding to it. How does 5G actually affect people? In an appeal to the United Nations, over 240 scientists and doctors with published research in 41 nations listed out the side effects of exposure to non-ionizing electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. I have no idea how you survive that paragraph. What falls under the category of EMFs? EMFs includes radio frequency, radiation, RFR, cellular and cordless phones, their base stations, Wi-Fi broadcast antenna, smart meters, and baby monitors. I mean, baby monitors? How do these EMFs affect us? Effects include increased cancer risks, cellular stress, increase in harmful free radicals, genetic damages, structural and functional changes of the reproductive system, learning and memory deficits, neurological disorders, and negative impacts on general well-being. General well-being, I mean, this just sounds terrible. Actually, even the Epoch Times highlighted an occurrence where 150 dead birds fell out of the trees and onto the ground of a park in the Hague, Netherlands due to a nearby 5G network antenna. Dr. Martin Paul, professor emeritus at Washington State University and a leading EMF expert, spoke at the National Institute of Health about the dangers of 5G. He expressed his concerns that EMF effects will lead to existential threats to our survival. Existential? The top 3 among them being reproductive effects, neurological or neuropsychiatric effects, and the germline mutation effects. I mean, why is this so concerning? When the effects compound and become more severe, they become ultimately irreversible. So basically, our legs fall off and we grow additional heads. So it's very possible that technological advanced countries to suffer catastrophic drops in human reproduction. And that to us sounds like a page out of Agenda 21 or the Deep State's depopulation agenda. The Michigan Safe Technology YouTube channel shared a clip from a legislation hearing where Dr. Sharon Goldberg talked about the electromagnetic radiation that causes deterioration of mental health as an epidemic leading to suicides, shootings, and opioid use. What are the effects on the environment or on animals? A detailed long-term field monitoring study was performed from 2006 through 2015 in the city of Bamberg and has stalled.
I can hardly hold it. I can hardly
trees
hold
in
it any
low
longer.
radiation areas showed no damage, while statistical analyses revealed that electromagnetic radiation from mobile phone masts is harmful for trees. Even trees are affected. Another review by Alfonso Balmori also measured how exposure to electromagnetic radiation, a form of environmental pollution, can harm wildlife. These animals suffer deterioration in health and reproductive issues, ultimately leading to a decline in animal populations. But hey, faster downloads and uploads, right? So, no, animals and plants aren't an exception. So what about humans? Exactly. They're endangered by the rapid development of electromagnetic radiation caused by cellular technology. We just discussed examples of how electromagnetic frequencies like 5G can affect our health. But is there even a more nefarious agenda behind 5G? 5G promises super fast data transfer, which can accelerate different implementations of the Internet of Things. Architects of 5G envision a world where pill bottles, refrigerators, hairbrushes will use small antennas that connect to a low-T network. Why would we ever need that? Some examples that might require 5G are pantry items that text you when you're low in stock at home, smart appliances that adjust to your behavior, self-driving cars that can anticipate your schedule. So basically, you just stop thinking at all and become completely controlled by your device. I mean, we're pretty much like this already. Yeah, I'll be sitting there drooling from brain inactivity, and I'm going to need a text next time I have to use the bathroom. Rob, you have a bowel movement. All right. All these smart things are additional data points that a company can collect to understand and predict a consumer's behavior. This is reminiscent of William Cooper's concept of economic shock testing, which we've referenced in our Deep State series. Cooper describes economic shock testing as the phenomenon where prices of commodities are shocked and the public consumer reaction is monitored. So, when staples such as beef, coffee, gasoline, or sugar will suddenly spike in price or availability, people will also drastically respond to that change. These shock waves can be monitored through changes in advertising, prices, and sales of that and other commodities, and interpreted theoretically by computers, so that the psychoeconomic structure of the economy is thus discovered. Basically, you can manipulate people to do certain things by understanding their relationship to the economy. Economic shock testing tries to convince the public that certain experts should take control of the money system and reestablish security rather than liberty and justice for all. So, I mean, they've been doing this with ads and all of this stuff for years, right? But now they have tools that can actually help them hone this even more. So we are aware that this stuff has been going on forever, you guys. Facebook hack. Amazon. While the government already has a pretty good grasp of macro trends in consumer behavior, the Internet of Things and 5G will give detailed consumer behavior that they never had before. So again, we touch upon more mind-blowing concepts from Bill Cooper's report and our Deep State series. And if you haven't checked that out yet, where have you been? It's a series you don't want to miss, so go back and watch it. Some of the helpful or convenient solutions brought out through the Internet of Things actually seems kind of invasive. Now, here might be one of the most disturbing effects of 5G. We're still unraveling this one ourselves. Do you guys remember our Voice of God mind control technology video? I mean, dude, where have you been? Go watch that too. It's nuts. We mentioned how the Voice of God technology could use cell phone towers to send out these signals via these psychoelectronic weapons. So there's a few more patents related to 5G that we should expose. Hendrikus G. Roos patent a method to manipulate a subject's nervous system when they're near a device emitting electromagnetic fields. Well, this just sounds ridiculous. Get it? No, that was bad. Well, epic name aside, this patent describes how a computer program can routinely pulse a frequency from a monitor to affect the subject's nerves. The application status of this patent is still active, which means it's possible for a company to potentially implement 5G technology to induce certain behaviors and reactions in people this year. That name definitely sounded too funny to be real. You mean it was rather hendriculous? Yes. And you know what? Some folks speculate that it may be a pseudonym for Professor Ross Addy. Who is Professor Rosati? Well, you'll find many things online about Professor Rosati. In his obituary, it says that he was a leading and controversial figure on the effects of electromagnetic fields. He studied brain physiology at Oxford University and then joined the Brain Research Institute at UCLA in 1961. There he studied how extremely low frequencies, or ELFs, affect the human brain and nervous system. Addy demonstrated how electromagnetic field radiation affects brain tissue. Soon after, Motorola found out what he was doing and hired him and Jerry Phillips to research effects of cell phone radiation on tissue. From their research, they observed a decrease in central nervous system tumors in animals exposed to cell phone frequencies. Afterwards, Motorola ended their project and downplayed the results. It just doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, why would Motorola end a project that reduces tumors? Maybe, just maybe, they observed the opposite results, like all the other scientists that we mentioned above found that cell phone radiation could increase tumors. An interesting footnote to the side story is that Motorola Mobility is now owned by China's Lenovo. Just keep that tidbit in mind for the rest of this 5G series. So back to the patent. Under the pseudonym Hendrikus G. Luz, he wrote up another patent for a apparatus and method for generating and containing plasma having ultra-high temperatures. How we understand this patent is that this apparatus has the ability to generate and contain energy at ultra-high temperatures using electromagnetic means. Why that's suspicious is that the company associated with this patent is Plasmadyne Corporation, which is based out of Santa Ana, California. Sounds like Cyberdyne. You know, just saying. Some speculation is that there could be a way that energy weapons starting those fires in California and burning houses down to the ground, as David Wilcox said, boring holes in cars and burning trees from the inside out, could be influenced by Hendrikus G. Luz technology. Whatever that guy's name is. Let's just keep going. All this is to say, 5G is a type of electromagnetic frequency. Could 5G technology that's being developed be used to manipulate people's behavior or be used to generate ultra-high temperature energy to be used as a directed energy weapon? You can find all this information publicly available on patents.google.com, and we encourage you to do your own research. Okay, before we wrap up, please go check out our platform, edgeofwonder.tv. Edge of Wonder TV is the platform where we'll host all of our videos, including the exclusives that we can't post on YouTube. We'll post episodes early so subscribers get those early access videos. We'll also do weekly live streams covering sensitive topics that we can't cover here. We're also going to have our personal channels on there and a lot of premium content. Subscriptions are $9.99 a month, and you can get 10% off if you subscribe annually. Pretty good deal. We'll premiere uncensored long-form content featuring some of your favorite guests every month. If you want to support us and see more exclusive content, subscribe on edgeofwonder.tv. Okay, to wrap up, we covered what 5G technology comprises of and what technology breakthroughs it promises. 100 times download and upload speeds, the Internet of Things, and autonomous vehicles. We also highlighted the proven and well-documented dangers of electromagnetic frequencies, or EMFs, on humans, animals, and the environment. 5G may become an extremely invasive way to capture all of your personal data to understand and manipulate your behavior. That is, if your data is in the wrong hands. Which basically is Facebook, with Facebook is doing. I mean, who's got that data? Anyway, they already have ours, I'm sure. So this 5G tech could potentially be used to manipulate your behavior. And lastly, we dipped our toes in some of the Hendrikus Luz crazy plasma technology and how 5G can power it. There's no way you can say that with a straight face. Can't. In the next episode, we'll talk about the 5G battle, the Cold War between the Alliance and the Deep States. So stay tuned, and we'll see you out on the edge. On the edge. On the edge.
On the edge.
On the edge.
On the edge. On the edge. On the edge.
Sorry about that. Falling asleep.
Of the reproductive system, learning and memory.
Anyway.
Man, this is, I think I'm gonna take it. I think it's gonna happen. And harmful chemicals. I don't want to
fucking 5G. So they're kind of making a bit of a fucking joke of it. I don't know if that's the way they're. I think if they make enough of a joke of it, then maybe get away with comedy. You know, maybe that's what they're doing. But it's not to be fucking laughed about. It's quite dangerous, very dangerous. Rotate device. Rotate device. Let's see. You know, it's almost always closed. I was due to medication. Whole left side, fingertips and everything, all funny, but left this eye, so half closed a bit. I don't really notice it, but it does, kind of, so. It doesn't matter how awake I am. It always looks like it's kind of doesn't look good. Right, very good. There you go. So the frequency that we're dealing with in 5G is a millimeter band. Haven't got any of the data I can put on the screen, sorry. Make it look better, but you've got to be careful when you watch. Okay, look at all these things and look at do things to stop it. Make things. Well, it disappeared. Anyway, it's under here. I've got it here to protect. I've got it here to protect my tablet, so it's lying on the bed somewhere. We can put these things at the bottom of the cell towers, which will help. You know, it'll cut the radiation that's pumping out. I mean, the information side of it is okay. I mean, it's faster, stuff like that's what they're doing it for. But it's dangerous, right? There's dangers that go along with it, and they're neglecting to tell you them. That's the problem. And if you're too close to them, you'll be very badly affected. You maybe not notice it now, but it's going to be your children's children. This is how bad it is, because it's so detrimental to their health. Okay? You're not seeing anything like, you're just seeing fatigue and sore heads and people saying they've got headaches and things like that. Okay? And this is what they're putting it down to, but really it's far more greater than that. It's how it's going to be eradicating your chances of having children, and men and women both can get it very easily. The frequency eradicates and burns areas. Everything is made up of frequencies. Everything. We live in a frequency. Certain things resonate at a certain frequency. And this is one of the things that the 5G resonates at, is, I'm trying to think of the word. It's to do with fertility, you know. It's affecting my fertility band. Now, very badly. to the point that you're not going to have children, you know, or your children's children won't have children. It'll be that gene will be eradicated. You can't get it back, which means that we're getting, the whole nation is getting sterilized, and this seems to be Europe and America. We're getting sterilized. This is the way of depopulizing the area, taking people out. So you've got to get yourself out of that area, or get yourself protected for 5G. Seriously. You'll see where the rich are going and the elite. You'll find the countries that they're going to won't have a 5G or anything like that. So we've got to follow them. We've got to see where they're going. And where they're going costs money. This is a problem. So they've made it so that it doesn't matter where you go, you've got to have money in order to be saved, because it's a market, right? And if you're not capable of winning in that market, then you die. So, and it's all down to money. It's a money market. It doesn't matter how much peace and love and whatever fucking shit you want to fucking have on the go. This is a money market, and if you haven't got the money, you're not gonna survive. Yeah, and even then, if you've got the money, if you're in one of that areas where you've got the 5G, your children's children is gonna be wiped out. They've got your money. They're looking for your money. So your children's, you know, they'll get your money through in a couple of generations. They'll get it. And that's what they want. It's crazy. That's psychopathic fucking need for this wealth. When they can generate the wealth if they want. You know, they've got the capabilities to just print it out. So why do they do it? It's a game. So you've got to play this fucking game where they're corrupting you. Anyway, I'm out. I'll catch you later. Be wary. Peace and love.